I'm Pari Sanghavi. I'm at NTT Data. I'm part of our life sciences industry consulting practice, and I lead our supply chain manufacturing and ERP capabilities across the industry. Digitalization is essentially a journey, and it involves a staged approach to acquiring a foundational set of capabilities that you then build upon with additional business value such as analytics, supply chain orchestration, real-time visibility, and ultimately leading to automation, which gives you resilience as well as agility of your supply chain. So all of those capabilities are now at our fingertips with networks like Mint, and I'd love to talk more about that. A couple of the biggest challenges that I see today with respect to achieving a digitalization vision are twofold. One is data, the availability of granular, near real-time data and a single version of truth. And the second is the skill levels of the organizations that are going to use this data. And the skill levels will gradually rise as long as you make a concerted effort to upskill your employee base. And the data is now available through networks like Mint in a very deep and broad fashion. They are covering a lot of different transaction types, and all the data exchange mechanisms are also near real time. So it's an unprecedented time to have at your fingertips the access to such deep and broad, near real time granular data. So if you look at the underlying core concept of a solution like Mint and the underlying network of TraceLink, as well as the Opus platform that enables both of these, it is the integrate once concept that is actually a game changer. And if you look at the network topographies of some of the competing networks out there, I don't see any of them surviving because of the inherent advantage that the TraceLink network topography offers, where you integrate once with the network, and every single supplier or trading partner that you have, if they're already on the network, you are just, not minutes, but days away from turning those data pipes on as well. So that level of integrate once capability is a game changer. So some of these use cases that you talked about of trying to solve these challenges of avoiding back orders and optimizing inventory levels and so on, they've been the holy grail and the mantra for supply chain leaders for decades now. With the supply chain orchestration capabilities that something like Mint and Opus brings to the table and the underlying TraceLink network, you are actually able to bring them to fruition and significantly improve the metrics on multiple KPIs that will immediately start to change your baseline, both from a customer service level as well as your cost base, which are the two aspects that you're trying to balance against each other. So we're already starting to see a lot of AI use cases being deployed or piloted in the wild, if you may, across the life sciences and other industries. Some that come to mind that have shown value and have been proven to be feasible with a relatively short time frame are things like predictive ETA, being able to predict when a shipment is going to reach you or reach the customer or your contract manufacturer or trading partner. And this is feasible through the rich data that's available through the transportation networks and the addition of AI to predict based on traffic conditions, based on other geo factors, when your shipment is actually going to reach. And we are seeing that today as consumers already, and it's now feasible for the life sciences B2B supply chains as well. There are other examples of AI being used, such as supplier risk management. Everybody wants to know which of their suppliers are going to be at risk of meeting their OTIF obligations, of delivering their products to you as their customer on time. And there are lots of AI-driven solutions out there that are using deep supplier data to actually predict which suppliers are at risk, how much they're at risk in terms of how long is the delay going to be, and so on. So those kind of capabilities are already being used today. Another one that comes to mind is AI-based demand forecasting. So once you get data signals from multiple sources, and you can maybe even model a digital twin of the customer that thinks about things differently, those kind of AI-driven demand forecasting capabilities are also feasible today because of the deep exchange of forecasting data across partners. I'd like to use a phrase, no data, no dice. So data is now table stakes today. Without data and rich and wide and deep data, you can't even get started. So the trick is to look at data and tie the story between what data you need and how you're going to use it to actually deploy your AI capabilities. Those AI capabilities are not going to come overnight. They're going to first get formulated in the minds of the supply chain orchestrators. So by making supply chain orchestration possible, human-driven supply chain orchestration with your data, you're laying the groundwork for how you're going to start to introduce agentic AI to start doing some of that orchestration on its own. It may not do it on its own initially, where the human in the loop will actually be monitoring and training the agentic AI to make sure the orchestration is happening as well or better than a human could do it. And then you'll ultimately turn over the reins of that agentic AI-based orchestration to the AI itself, very similar to how you have seen the evolution of autonomous driving in cars. Initially, everyone is scared and everyone wants to have a close handle on things. As they see the AI proving itself, they'll be happy to let it go on its own.